started, and I want to trust that the network will do normally. Hmm. Now this is it. There's a reason here I personally want Peter Obi to, if it is possible, to be president. And no, I'm sincere. I'm serious. I'm serious. There's a reason I really want it. Now, you see, let me tell you one thing about markets or economy in Nigeria. The Igbos are the biggest you know, economically grounded people in Nigeria. The Igbos. There's no business you want to talk about. The business of whether you want to talk about importing, exporting, whatever business it is, selling of different kinds of merchandises, spare parts and all. Igbos, they are grounded. And they are, see, since 1963, these people have not been in power in Nigeria. But guess what? They flourish a lot. The Igbos are doing well. See, me personally, I envy them. I envy Igbos a lot. Two reasons I really want any Igbo to be next president. If not Peter, will be anybody they present shit, present anything. Peter Obi is even better. He's even a prudent financial person, from all we have seen about him so far. It's even better. But even if he was present a good today, there's a reason a part of me really wants an Igbo to be president. I'll give you the two whys. Number one, you see, any part of Nigeria, any region in Nigeria that has ever become president of this country, that region becomes pauperized. And I'll explain. No matter how they build ports, they build this, they build that. See, the problem is always that the kinsmen of the person in charge of power or in charge of politics in the country, or the president or the head of whatever, okay, always ended up pauperizing these people, because people usually have the temptation to abandon hard work, entrepreneurship, skillful employment, and the rest of them to start following their kinsmen to say, we are in power, we are in power. They get food that at the end of the day, they underdevelop their region. Igbos have not been in power. But guess what? You think it is Igbos that are suffering the problems of economic hardship in this country? No, nah. Now they will still make their profits. See, okay, for instance, the price of commodities go up. They are the ones selling the commodities. They import it. Customs prices go up. All the prices go up. Everything go up. They will pay the duties, pay everything. But they will still add all those, increases on the final price of the product. They will still make their profits, but they will pass all those costs to buyers at the end of the day. So now we go still pay them. So Igbos are doing well, they'll still make their profits. Now we go still pay for all those things that are added in excise or custom duties or VAT or whatever to the prices of commodities. Now the buyer go still pay for them. So Igbos don't care. They will still make their normal profits. It's just that the prices will go higher because the costs of them bringing the markets or the merchandise or the products or commodity to you or service to you has gone higher. They will increase the cost. So now the buyer will still pay. So Igbos are doing well. They are still making their profits. Normal. But they have not been in power. That is why they are hardworking. Now that is number one reason I really want Igbos to also taste power. Because it affected our own people a lot too. Number two reason is let this problem go round. This problem of politicking, let it go round. Let them also benefit. Yeah. People have stolen. Yorubas have been in power and they have even been vice president for so long. They have stolen money, they have done this, they have done that, blah, 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 and their people are still poor for it. Let Igbos too. Let them also have their own chance so that it can go round. And everybody can say they have already had a taste or a fair share of the problem bedeviling other regions who have tasted power. Let Igbos also have their own opportunity at least. I'm not I'm not a proponent, advocate, or adherent of stealing. But I would say, since politicking is about stealing in Nigeria, let us also give the Igbos a chance. And if they are lucky to have a prudent person, it will be to our collective benefit now. Shebi, for instance, there is no way that even though we had Obasanjo in power, had Jonathan in power from the south, had Osinba the vice president from the southwest, all this in the recent years, at the end of the day, whatever our own, did we become, are we better for it? So why are we shouting that southwest must be president again? Must we? No, why do we want? What I'm saying all of this, let me see. I'm using battery. There's no electricity in this country. But let me see. Let me just add the link. If you want to join this conversation, let me say just join via link. Okay. It's now I'm putting in the comment section. Just use that link to join. Okay. And let me sticky that comment so that anybody can see it. Now, for me, let Igbos also have their own. If they also want to bring a corrupt person that will also lie to us, deceive us, let's go round first. Then we can have a revolution. So that will not be like, oh, it's because the Igbos have not governed this country. Let them also bring their own. Let them also have a fair share. Equity is equality. The equality of now let me come to the real topic, or the main topic of the day. I don't like to see Peter Okoye and other Igbo entertainers or influencers or celebrities have endorsed openly their own choices. So why must you vilify anybody who is also making choice? Okay. Now, while I want Peter Obi, or while I would have, a part of me would have preferred Peter Obi to be president, let me also inform you that Peter Obi and Tinubu will only end up dividing the southern votes. And if Kwankwaso pulls a Tambuwa again towards the election, that's the end. Atiku will clear. That's why Atiku, you see, he's not talking lately. He's not really working hard again. He has done all the works. He's happy that there's a new charge, a new movement in the atmosphere, and that the charge will end up dividing southern votes, while he is going to cruise or coast to victory by just clearing the north, while also dividing the south. And his party members will still try to do the work of helping their party to win at least a third in the south. That is all he has been working for all along. And it's looking like this thing might just work for him. So while I wish that we at least allow all these things circulate, Northerners have had their own share of it. The North is not better for it. South has had their own share. Yorubas have had their own share of tasting power. And Yorubas are not better for it. In fact, they are worse. So every region that gets power becomes worse for it. Unfortunately, others are clamoring for it. So I really wish, it's just like in 2015. In 2015, when we said, Shebi, you said this man, when he was head of state in the 1980s, things were worse under him. It was analogous. But this is future. Oh, it's because you don't know him. Jonathan is worse, is corrupt and all that. And we see, if we had not supported, just said, okay, okay, let's allow it, or let's have it like that. We want person with integrity. And things are worse like this. In fact, if things were not even as this worse, and Buhari is not president, I know quite a number of us by now will be saying, oh, if only Buhari were president, things will not be this bad. That's why that's where my joy lies. That if Buhari had not become president, a lot of people would have still been out there saying, oh, if only Buhari had become president, things will not be this bad. So I'm so happy that Buhari has become president and we are here. So I still like Nigerians like hype. And aside the hype, I want it to go round. It is every region that is in power that I wish that it is people of my own region that are owning the businesses, owning the properties everywhere, having the money, having the connect, spreading all over the world, owning companies, taking the lead, entrepreneurially, economically, not necessarily politically. If the politics is not translating to benefits in the lives of citizens, so what's the point? So for me, at least let it go round. Let Igbos too have their own fair share. Then we can start talking about a real governance, or if you call it revolution, or if you like, call it anything. So I have my reasons. I wish that we all see the outcome. But at the end of the day, 2023 will not be either of Tinubu or Peter Obi if the South still does not work together, whatever the case. You know why? The North will always work together. They are ahead of. See, we are academic here, and we are also unnecessarily aggressive, abusing each other, abusing one another. The North doesn't do that. Oh, people are rushing to go and collect PVC, and we are showing it on social media. I just hope that all these people will also show up on the day of election, and not just show up. When we say become the structure means that state from beginning to end, from accreditation to voting to confirmation of voting and the results to transmission and to confirmation that the result you transmit from your poll is the same with calculated or added at the final point. That is what it means by being the structure. That said, gentlemen and ladies, the North is not on social media showing that they are getting PVC every day, except we expose it by ourselves, that they are counting even children and cows. Yes, if we don't expose it, they don't want to show it. We are loud about everything. And not just loud about our divisions. So we still have a lot to learn from the North, who are not as academic as we are, but are politically leading. We got a long way to go. So instead of people understanding that the battle ahead of us is not me versus them, okay, they are instead, or rather, fighting me for telling them the truth that is still PDP and APC affair using Labour Party. Anyways, no problems. Shebi time will reveal. I'm always unpopular for my opinions, and they are not just opinions. They are products of investigations and proper calculations. my stand about Yoruba Nation and Biafra. Most of the people who attacked me then are not too bold to come out and say you were right now. They are no longer bold to say it. So they have kept quiet and are just watching. I am here again to tell you that is the game for 2023. PDP has a scheme on Labour Party. So no matter how much you think people are tripping out and are fighting, a party you did not build from scratch, and you are not the owner, you are not the ones oiling the party before now. You just want to take it overnight and go and use it. Why not use PDP? Why? When the owners of the party are already going to court to say no, if towards the election a court verdict comes out and they say no, it's another faction that owns the party, and that faction therefore says that they adopt candidates of PDP, who will you be fighting by then? No, who will you be fighting? So when we say start early enough, we have been saying it long ago. Start engaging politically. That even the idea or ideology of fighting for a restructured state must be political. Or the idea of fighting that the constitution should be changed should be political. Or the idea that there should be regional nations because Nigeria appears too big politically for all regions to unite every 4 years. Is there any time all regions are come together every 4 years and it benefited us? The first time, I guess, was MK Abiola. Was it given? We are still here. The other time was Buhari. How did it turn out? Now, 2023, we are dividing again. So for how long are we going to be rigmaroling? But we are saying let us engage politically because it is the easiest and cheapest. We've been saying it for long. They say it's Biafra or nothing. It's Oduduwa or nothing. All of those has gone down now. Because I told you towards election, all these noises will go down. All these noises will go down. People abuse me. Now we are here. I'm not even trying to fight over the past. I'm only trying to lay the antecedent, lay the background and foundation again, so that we can start looking towards the future before we lose it again and start perambulating all over. Gentlemen and ladies, we are at another crossroad, about to make another course in history. See, let me tell you, we must engage politically and unite so that we can at least put in place people that can effect constitutional changes so that we can all understand what we want from this union. Engage politically. But I'm happy that finally most of the people who wanted to engage in war are now saying, okay, it is this one and not the other one, even though it will still divide the South. I think it's no longer about who is old or older or who cannot perform. It's about, see, no one has ever performed before. No one has ever performed before. And whoever you bring in now is not guaranteed to perform. Yeah. And the few votes the two movements in the South that will divide South cannot win individually, except they come together like this. Because the North is one. There's not much noise from Kwankwaso. And Atiku is already feeling so relaxed because he has seen the game he planned. It's already working out. Last, all of us will be activists again after 2023. Justice for this. In fact, it will be justice for the noise makers on internet who will lose the election. And I just hope they don't go back to picking guns to killing their own brothers again under guise of fighting for something that could be achieved politically. So please, I am not here to fight anybody. I'm just here to give you situation analysis, report and analysis, so that all of us can know where we are going and be sure about it, instead of the strong-headedness, that is not taking anybody anywhere. Nothing. All the strong-headedness have never since history taken anybody anywhere. And I use this moment to also address my fans and Showore supporters. It is not time for Showore. At least if to elections were, I don't know, 8 months is a long time. There might still be a lot of events. Okay? But if elections were tomorrow morning, neither Obi or Showore, whose both camps are attacking each other, can win. Oh. I tell you, APC has how many governors that are going to control things for them? PDP has how many? And Labour Party, as we understand, till today, I don't know if tomorrow there might be a revolution in Labour Party. Labour Party is still an appendage of PDP. And they may end up only just splitting the votes in South, so that Atiku's PDP can have to third in South, while Kwankwaso will pull a Tambuwa in the North, and Atiku will clear the whole North. So, what's your gain? I don't know. I think at this point, it's not yet time for the Showores. I would have wished that at least a Peter Obi, unfortunately, is not going to happen yet. It's his first attempt. Yeah. At least a Peter Obi, he knows them, he has been with them, but he wants to try a gradual change. Nigeria may not be ready for a radical change, which Showore represents, but at least maybe a gradual change. So if it was 100% corruption and underdevelopment, maybe a Peter Obi administration will slow it down a bit without ruffling feathers. Maybe you can transit gradually like that. Maybe a Peter Obi. Unfortunately, even a Peter Obi will only divide southern votes. And Peter Obi was Atiku's running mate. So I don't think Peter Obi will have a problem if Atiku wins again. So what is your gain? What is your gain? Gentlemen and ladies, I'm a small boy compared to most of you. You are older than me. And you sabi pass me. My battery is already warning me that if I don't shut down, it will shut down itself. So let me just give you another information. All my information to you and analysis are always futuristic. Okay? It is only people who are sincere enough to come back and say, you said this thing and that is the truth. Now, let me tell you, there's a real estate revolution going on now. Most of the people who want to be big boys in the next few years are investing in this. Do you understand? Let me just gist you. If I have the money most of you have today, the investment I want to put my money on is in Ibejuleki. And if you study around, the best you can do, don't stress yourself about anything. Just drop your money for the best investor. And you don't even have to put all the money at once. Deep sea ports is already being planned for Ibejuleki. The next international airport is in Ibejuleki. Dangote refinery is there. Fertilizer plant is there. A lot of businesses are there. And it is close to, the shorefront. See, the ocean front. Now, it is the next investment destination. Don't say I did not tell you. But before I tell you all of this, please, our help cases for this week. Thanks to those of you who sent your 5,000, 3,000, 2,000. We got them. God bless you. Some of you saw the help cases we have for this week. One person having sickle cell anemia that we want to assist with some fund. Another who is on dialysis for renal failure. We are trying to assist them. Then three others we can't even get them to make because they don't even have this to make. So we eventually have to travel to give them their own support. But trust we always make video when we are presenting the support. So this week we have 5 cases to handle, and some of you already saw videos of 2 of them we brought on air yesterday or 2 days ago. So please, the information is on your screen. If you are interested in assisting us, this is the best way to pay your tithe to let it reach the people who truly need. So use the information on your screen. Now, let me, as I was telling you, the best investment opportunity right now, you want to own properties with Abe Homes. Because after all these investments and businesses are coming to Ibejuleki, the next crisis will be accommodation. Dangote will be employing hundreds of thousands. The fertilizer plant will also be employing thousands. The petrochemical hundreds of thousands. The airports, international airports coming to Ibejuleki will be employing a lot of people. Expatriates will be there. So many businesses that are still being planned and continuing. Now, the shortfall will be in accommodation, and that's exactly why real estate is the next best business opportunity in that axis, because people will look for accommodation and it will be very expensive. Last time we checked, an apartment that has nothing inside it is already renting for over 10 million naira a year. So imagine you have 2 properties that you rent for some 15 to 20 million naira a year, 2 properties only, and you relax while you are doing other businesses. You are a big boy, you are good on your own, right? And it's your property for life. You're only renting it out, even if you are not living there. Okay. Now, this opportunity I'm about to reveal to you promises you the best. You know why? It has nothing to do with electricity grid, nothing with waste management companies, whatever, because it uses a hybrid power solution and it is also made with concrete. So it's completely green estate. It is the biggest real estate revolution, not only in Lagos or Nigeria, but in the entire Africa. Gentlemen and ladies, Adiola Fayon brings you the summary.
Please meet Mr. Abiodun Akinyemi, a man who is looking to solve the big chunk of the housing crisis that we have in Nigeria by making affordable, self-sufficient homes. This kind of homes are becoming more and more popular, by the way, because they are efficient and they are environmentally friendly, and then it costs less to make them if you think about it in the long run. Anyway, before I tell you about the smart homes that he's building, let me tell you a little bit about his story. He's based in Canada right now, and he decided to build a house in Lagos, Nigeria, where he's from. But upon making inquiries, the cost of building a house has increased significantly since he moved to Canada. So instead of using concrete brick throughout his construction, he substituted it with laterite, and he was able to save 30% of the construction cost. Laterite has a lot of advantages, by the way, including warming your home during the cold weather, cooling your home in the hot season. It's cheaper because it's readily available. It's everywhere in Nigeria. It has high clay content, which means it can hold more water. Laterite gives you better air quality. So if you build your house with laterite, you can breathe in better air quality. You can even recycle it. So if you build a house with laterite and you don't like it, you can break down the house and use the brick to build another house. And that's just to name a few of the advantages. But he didn't stop at building his personal house. He decided to make his house self-sufficient, off-grid, which means that he's not going to be dependent on the electricity from the Nigerian government. So he's using solar power, and he's also not going to be using power generator, so there will be no noise, no air pollution. At the same time, he's not using the regular sockaway that everybody uses in Nigeria. He's disposing his own waste material by decomposing it, and he's generating his own water. So once the house is completed, he doesn't need anything from the... And this is why they call this home self-sufficient, off-grid homes. That alone inspires me. The fact that he was able to find an alternative to just spending so much money on building a house. And the fact that he doesn't have to depend on the government, he made himself a self-sufficient house. That is the inspiration for me. But then he took it a step further. So after learning from his own experience, he wants to do the same for others, except that he wants to do it better. If you see the picture of the house, you may not be too impressed by the aesthetic, but he calls this the experimental house, because what he has decided to do is to now mass produce this kind of house for other people. In case anybody out there is interested in having a house that will be self-sufficient, he has bought acres of land in Lakwe beachfront in order to construct an off-grid estate. And what you guys are seeing is what he would be constructing. All these houses would not be using NEPA, and they will be constructed with laterite bricks. If anyone is interested, he's looking for 10 people, just 10 people to start out. The price starts at 34 million naira for 3 bedrooms, and you can pay in installment. He has a contract readily available, readily prepared, which you can share with your lawyer to know if that's a good deal or not. I mean, some people may feel like that's a lot of money, but it's a one-time payment that you no longer have to worry about electricity bill. You no longer have to worry about paying them to empty your sock away and stuff like that. It's a one-time payment that you know that from beginning to end, you know your house is complete and self-sufficient. Anyway, I asked him, by the way, I said, what if someone is interested right now and they decided to pay you, and along the way they decided they're no longer interested, they don't like what they're seeing? And he said to me that your money is refundable as stated in the contract. He said he will give you back 95% of the money, and the remaining 5% is for administrative charges. He's using a system of interlocking bricks instead of the traditional style of construction, and this system results in a house that is 10 times stronger than traditionally built house and also more terminally efficient. Each home would have its own fire system and will be conveniently located by a fire hydrant in order to make it easier for fire crews to help just in case of an emergency. We'll be building common areas that will have a gym, a playground, swimming pool, ball courts, grocery stores, and so on and so forth. And more importantly, the houses in his estate will reduce global warming and human carbon footprint. So guys, if you're interested, please check him out. This is his website. Check him out. This is his website.